Hello, Idiots on Parade, the Too Ugly for TV podcast. We mock the news so you don't have to. I am Nathan Timmel, a stand-up comedian in Iowa City, and I slept on my left side. Look at that. Look at that sharp.
Oh, nice.
That sharp, like this side is a little poopy, but that is just a, yes. And with me
I slept flat on top of my head like that, so I'm completely bald up there.
With me as always is Jake Vevra, stand-up comedian in New York City. Hello, Jake.
How's it going?
I love this sharp. It looks like I'm I know I slept on it. Like it looks like I tried to make a pompadour, you know, an old school tried to poof it up. Like if I hit this side, there we go. Well, no, this side is still completely flat. So, oh well.
Yeah, it looks like you went to a barber who had a stroke while he was hitting you with the clippers there.
I've done that. I have a joke on stage. I won't do it here because it's, but about being in the stylist chair, and sometimes it's happened where they fuck up one side of your head, so they have to fuck up the other side of your head to even it out.
Right.
Yeah. Todd says, good morning, Todd.
Which is almost worse if you think about it, because then it's like, well, now, instead of like, well, he fucked up this side, it has to go like, no, this barber's just really bad at decisions, you know?
Yeah. Todd says I look like the Street Fighter dude. I'm not sure which one.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Ryu. Okay. Not Ryu. Sorry. No. Who's the army guy? I know the one you're thinking of. The army guy, the guy, he's got the blonde hair and the. Yeah.
Nick is saying hi at midnight in Newcastle. What's
hello
NSW?
There.
North Southwest Australia.
Hell yeah, dude. I honestly don't know. I don't know much about Australia, although I wish I did, because it seems like a really cool place. But I'm glad you're tuning in, man.
I would love to visit Australia.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd want to live there because I'm afraid of spiders and lizards and creepy crawly things.
I'd live there. Timmel's being a bitch. I'd go live there. I'll tongue kiss those goddamn outback spiders. I don't give a good goddamn.
Timmel's being a bitch. New South Wales. Thank you. Yes, New South Wales. Again, Mick, you're dealing with Americans. Our knowledge of geography in the rest of the world is limited.
Dude, our country goes around
looking at my head.
Yeah. Our country goes around the world bombing places we've never heard of. It's what it is.
John Stewart of the Daily Show said that we learn geography through war. We learn geography through where we're bombing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not too early.
Half of this dumbass country thinks we're bombing Iraq again.
Yes.
To be fair, it's one letter off, one country off, and all the rhetoric's the same. And
lies. They did bomb each other during the 80s.
Yeah.
Sophie and Ken says it's too early there at night. My dumb son. I woke up at around 4 a.m. and was like, do I hear music? Do I hear faint music? Because I have a white noise machine on in my room. So I got up and walked out. My son was having a dance party in the basement at 4 a.m. He was just downstairs blaring music and like bopping around like, oh, I woke up. And it's like, get in your room. So, he's going to be exhausted. I'm going to be exhausted. But
I will be, take some comments, man. I got to take this dog downstairs because he's whining at the stairs and he's going to keep doing
Surprisingly, there were no Christmas pics that year. I do not understand that comment. Wait, up here, Dave, I did one Christmas Eve. I let my brother cut my hair and he fucking gave me a ball patch of buff. I'm surprised there were no Christmas pics that year because you'd think you'd want to memorialize the thing. But you missed it. What David got a haircut from his brother that gave him a bald patch on one side and had to give him a bald patch on the other to match it.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, again, that's worse because that makes it look like you went to the barber and was like, can you give me 2 bald patches on the side of my head for no goddamn reason? Can you make it look like I have some kind of weird alopecia and that I'm culturally appropriating the alopecia community?
The alopecia community. My alopecia starts here and spreads outward. Guile is the Street Fighter character. Yeah,
Guile. Yeah, that's right.
The neighbor kids were playing basketball at 3 a.m. this morning. Missed shots at the side. Wow, 3 a.m. basketball. There you go. Well, I don't know what's worse. 4 a.m. dance party or basketballs bouncing off your house. Neither one is good. All right, so
But the dance party's in your house?
He's downstairs in the basement blaring whatever kid music. So
I'd probably take the basketball if I had to choose, but that is pretty annoying.
And then it's me because my wife and daughter are in Florida visiting her sister, so it's just me taking care of the boy. All right. What do we want to start with? There is so much that happened in the news this week. We won the Iranian war, as he said we would, and it's all over.
Mission accomplished, people.
It's still going.
There we go.
Pam Bondi, the biggest brown noser, and even South Park called her out. With the Pam, you've got some shit on your nose.
Shit on the nose, yeah.
Fired. Where do we want to go? Let's start with last week's closer. Jim Bob Duggar scolds son Joseph for, quote, terrible decisions in a jailhouse email. Pray that God would have mercy on you. Hey, I'm not defending your kid. He did make horrible decisions, but when it comes to horrible decisions, I think there was someone above your kid, someone called a dad, a parent who raised him poorly and shoved all sorts of bullshit, hardcore religion down his throat to the point where when he got out into the real world, he was unable to cope, and he was told his entire life, sexuality's bad and you're evil and wrong for wanting to touch yourself and you need to get married. And so he fucking snapped and let some evil out. I think, sure, the kid made some horrible, bad decisions, but Dad, you fucked your kid up.
I don't know, man. I think we're obsessing over this shit too much. Yeah, the dude's a freak or whatever, but I don't know if I'm willing to blame his dad necessarily.
I am.
You know what I mean? Well, okay. If some lefty atheist had a kid that was diddling people, you know what I mean? Would it be fair to go, see, that's why you need Jesus to keep him from touching? Come on, man.
It depends. Is the lefty atheist beating it down his throat? Is the lefty atheist saying no, there is no God. You will never worship a God. You never. Or is it going like, I don't happen to believe, so if you want to find Jesus, fine. We don't, it's not. So what I'm saying is not. I don't know.
I don't like blaming the dad.
Strictness.
I don't like blaming the dad for the
This is you getting ready to let yourself off in 10, 15 years, isn't it? You're laying the groundwork for.
Well, no, but hang on. If one of yours turns out to be a diddler, I'm playing this back. I'm looping it back and being like, see, maybe you should have been more like the Duggars. He had 17 kids that weren't diddlers. You only got one that's not. What's up, dude? The numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie.
I'm just saying it's the strictness. If you have a strict atheist or a strict Christian or a strict Jew or a strict Hindu, it's all in the laying of the groundwork is what I'm saying. And I do like the idea of a strict Hindu. How many gods are there? 1,077. You got to, and if they say the wrong number, they get get hit with a statue with all them arms on it. Yeah, Vishnu or Gishnu or something.
Yeah,
again, American ignorance of not knowing other cultures. But all right, so we found we disagree. I think it comes from an over. Now it's in him. I don't think. I think the strictness unleashes the. I think you're. I don't think that it created it, but I think. Yeah, right here. Ken doesn't know what the Duggars are, and they had a show on TV for.
Man, I'm telling you, the amount of articles you've sent me about the Duggars, I think you're one of 7 people who still knows who these people are, man. I only know them through articles you've sent me.
That's amazing. I just used to see ads for them all the fucking time. I used to be the guy like, who the fuck are these people? I think I told you I told you this last week. The only reason I know who they are is from a meme of the whole family, of the mom and all the kids, and it just said, vagina is not a clown car. And that made me laugh and look them up.
I wonder how many seasons they actually have, because thing is I don't follow reality TV at all, Jesus freaks or otherwise. So this is so far off my radar. I'm not watching
21 seasons.
Dude, that's wild.
21 goddamn years.
All right, that's me then, because I just I am living under a rock when it comes to reality TV.
That's 2 different shows though. It's the first round, 19 kids and counting, 10 years, and then they then right after 10 seasons, and right after that there was a spinoff, Counting On, which I
I've heard of the Real Housewives. I know they do different cities.
Yeah, I've never
for
seen
$1 trillion. I could not name a single character on the Real Housewives. Like I
can't believe there are 20 housewife shows now. I only thought there was one, and then it just exploded.
Yeah, that's
I've never
the biggest
seen
one,
a housewife,
man, for sure. Yeah,
I agree with Todd though. We need to bring back Octomom. That was.
Oh yeah, she had a reality show, right?
She did, and I remember having a joke about her back in the day. She did adult content, and I'm using that instead of the P word because I always get dinged on TikTok over there. She did adult content, and I made a joke about it. I don't remember what it is, but yeah, when she needed to provide for her family, she said, "Well, I've got the clown car down there. Let's open it up to the public."
That's wild, man.
All right. Do we want to say anything about Pam Bondi? I sent you the article.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild because if you look at that guy's first term, right? I think it's something like 40 out of the 44 cabinet members he had like throughout the whole term would not endorse him. You know, I mean, so I get selling out, but this is selling out in a way to where it's like, oh, you're only going to get benefits from this for like a little bit, and then he's going to throw you under the bus at any moment. I mean, that's clearly what seems to be happening here is he's trying to sort of make her the fall guy for this Epstein shit is what it seems like. And then it seems like he's also upset that she couldn't get these prosecutions of, you know, Comey or whoever else. But it's like, yeah, man, it's getting thrown out by like Republican courts and stuff. So at that point, I don't know what the hell the next guy's going to do different that she didn't do. You know, I mean, she kind of set herself up for failure from the beginning by going, oh, yeah, the Epstein files are on my desk, because I don't think she was naive enough to think that he was going to let her release that. Because, like, you know, the dude's name's all over the thing. Trump's in the Epstein files more than Jesus is in the Bible. So, you know what I mean? Like, he's got to make the next guy cover it up for it, too. It's just wild that people like Dan Bongino and Pam Bondi and, Cash Patel, even though he's still in there, we're sitting there going, oh, yeah, we're gonna get the Epstein files released. And you know who's going to do it? The pervy billionaire who brags about, grabbing women by the pussy and who's sneaking into teenage beauty pageants, locker rooms and stuff like that. He's going to bring down the billionaire sex offenders. Like, what? No, he's very much tied to these guys. At best, he's covering for his pedophile friends. At best, at worst, he's one of them.
Hawaii's back in the house. It's been a while. Good to see you,
What's
sir.
up?
You touched on something that I find the most fascinating when he goes through his first term, and the turnover was nonstop. I mean, it happened right away. You had Scaramucci, we're getting hearts on TikTok. Thank you. Shandell. Thank you, Shandell. Like Scaramucci was 7 days, but this time, the first year, there was less turnover, but no one's safe. Like you said, like Pam Bondi, biggest defender. Kristi Noem, biggest defender. In the first term, it was people that were growing disillusioned with him immediately, who were like standing up to him and saying, no, you can't do this. This isn't how the president acts. And they'd be asked to retire or fired. I can't remember the guy's name, but they said, hey, you need to resign. He's like, fuck you, I'm not resigning. You have to fire me.
Right.
And he did. But this, Pam Bondi was like his right-hand cultist. Like, she loved him. She embarrassed herself on Capitol Hill for him when she was, man. Like, tell me about the Epstein files. The Dow is 50,000. Like, she loves Trump, and it wasn't enough to save her. This is interesting.
Because she's bad at it. Go ahead.
Yeah, but loyalists are getting punted.
They are, but it's also like, a lot of his cabinet picks this time seem exceptionally dumb. Like, you get him in front of a camera. I feel like the first batch from the first term, would have at least been better on Capitol Hill. Wouldn't have been sounding as crazy, because I think what happens is most people that are in that realm, are going to try to avoid spots like that, because they know, like, hey, this could this could ruin my political future because this guy could throw me under the bus. And, I mean, his own lawyer went to prison because of his shit the first time around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Cohen.
So, yeah. I mean, Cohen went to prison. So I think the smart people are kind of filtered out from wanting a spot like that. You know, it's sort of like I used to have a roommate back in the day who would watch these sort of true crime before true crime docs, like the TV shows where they would cover bank robberies, you know, and these would be like modern era bank robbers for the most part. And he'd be like, dude, this guy's doing this instead of that. He's stupid. Why is he doing this? He's clearly going to get caught. And it's like, well, this is an almost self-selecting population of almost exclusive morons, right? Because the thing is robbing a bank in the modern era, and this is even like 20 years ago, you know what I mean? Like, but even then there was cameras everywhere, especially in a bank. There's GPS tracker. Like they would catch people that rob banks, you know? So I think by that point, by the 20 years ago point, when a smart dude was sitting there weighing out how to rob a bank, at some point, hey, if I get caught, if any of this goes wrong, I will spend the rest of my natural life in a tiny cell. That would go into his equation and he'd be like, fuck this, I'm not doing it. I'm doing an internet scam or something, you know?
Yeah.
And there's some exceptions. I'm not saying there's not some evil geniuses that rob banks and stuff, but for the most part, it's going to be dumb people doing this because only a dumb guy would take that kind of chance with something that guarded, that dangerous with that kind of consequences, right? So it's sort of like this, you know? The smart people are like, well, he's going to fuck me on this, especially if I'm the head of the FBI, if I'm his AG, I'm going to have to cover up for pedophile stuff. Like, no. I don't want to do this. So that's why you get morons like Bondi. The Dow is over 50,000. Yeah. Like her legacy, whatever she did before that, she will go down, like her legacy. She will be remembered as a lady that sat there with that shitty little scowl in front of the Epstein victims, covering up for pedophiles. That is what is going to be chiseled on her fucking tombstone. And she deserves it, man. You know, and look at this other guy, the acting AG, her deputy AG or whatever, this Todd Blanche. He's a fucking moron too. There's that clip of him on the news going, it's not a crime to party with Mr. Epstein. You know, like, I know what you're saying, but like, you're a fucking lawyer. You're the deputy AG. There's a smarter way to say that. Listen, it's not illegal to have non-nefarious, legitimate business dealings with Mr. Epstein, like many people did who are not tied to. It's not a crime to party with Epstein. What are you, a nerd? Are you a fucking nerd? Like that's what you're doing, Mr. Lawyer, man, Mr. Next Attorney General.
Yes. Quick aside. Hello to April.
Oh, live restricted for some audience. Your live contains themes that some may find uncomfortable.
I wasn't talking. For once, it wasn't me.
All right, I'm bullying Todd Blanche. Live visibility restricted for 10 minutes. Oh, TikTok, right? Good thing we got it in a good American company where there's no censorship based on political unless we're talking about the Republicans.
Hey,
bunch of fucking pedophile cult. What's up?
What I'm looking at is it says to protect me. Would you like to disconnect Jake Vevra? Jake Vevra's live contains themes that some may find uncomfortable.
Oh, like trashing the right, huh? That's what you find uncomfortable. TikTok, isn't it?
Either way,
this app was so much better when it was being controlled by Chairman G. Anyway,
so we're saying hi to April. She's in Nebraska, which would point out 2 Nebraskans. There might be a log in that. So he's just quickly going through to keep the public focused. All the other shit. I mean, he's got 3 years of this, so that's a lot of thing. I want to say
he's fired less people so far than I thought he would by this point.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everybody said his first through. I want to go completely sideways, and I apologize, but you sparked a memory in me when you're talking about bank robbery. The town I live in has it's called Highway 965. There's a bank in a strip mall, and then Highway 965, which is 4 lanes, 2 south and 2 north, and then our trailer park full of lovely whiskey tango people. Notice how I'm not saying words that'll set off TikTok. Either way,
we've already set it off. I called the president. Again,
I don't want to double down. I don't want to double down. But either way, for the longest
freedom
time,
of speech, right? The free speech party.
Yes. For the longest time, this bank would get robbed. And they would just like they were trained to just like give the money over. Like they come and say, "Hey, give us the money in the drawer," and they just give it to him. And then they turn to look out the window as they walked across the street into the trailer park. And then they just call the cops and go, "Yeah, like there's another one in the." And the cops are just like they'd hit the silent alarm, and the cops would go straight to the trailer park. So it's just like, dude, that was the running joke. Is whenever this bank got robbed, is like, oh yeah, they needed some meth money. They walk across the street to the bank.
It doesn't tend to be the guys sitting there in the back room, in the secret room in back of the bar that you have to pull the head on the statue to go in, and now they're sitting around and Robert De Niro's there and Val Kilmer's there and they've got their shit. It just tends to be a dude who's been up for 3 days going, I heard they got money in there. I need that shit. You know what I mean? Like that's exactly. Your modern era bank robbery, because in the back room, like I was saying before, Val Kilmer or Robert De Niro or whoever is going to turn to the other guy and be like, dude, they got GPS all over the money now. They've got a trillion cameras. They can watch us from space. Let's just get online and pretend to be a Nigerian prince, man. I made a bunch of money off this last month. Let's do crypto scams. Let's do Kalshi. Let's do crazy insider trading on Kalshi. I have a friend of mine that works in the Defense Department that knows when the next bombing's going to happen. So let's bet money on that.
Two quick things. I've already forgotten one. I do want to do something I've never done before, but I just had an idea. I want to turn to TikTok really quickly and say, if you happen to be watching in this moment, quick heart, give us a like, quick heart, because we're being restricted right now. So I'm wondering if everybody that just happens to be like, what's this? And before you swipe up, quick heart the TikTok.
The freedom of speech party against cancel culture doesn't like what we said about them. So now that they're controlling TikTok, now that one of their goons bought TikTok, they're censoring us, because freedom of speech.
Right. I remember the other thought I had. I listened to a podcast on my drive last week, and this is something we all knew. We might have even talked about it before. When it comes to internet scams, it was a podcast on internet scams, and they're like, why do they always choose Nigerian prince, or why do they spend? And people know this, and we've talked, but they just said flat out, the reason they make the scams so obvious is because the only people you're catching are the dumbest of the dumb anyway. So you have to make the scam. You have to make it so blatantly obvious that it's a scam that the only people you're going to hook are the ones that are so dumb that are going to fall for it.
I like that, because eventually, if you make it seem too good on the surface, somebody smart is going to click on that. You're going to get a decent amount of, upwards of 90% of your clicks are going to be people going, oh, this looks real, whatever. And then at some point, just give me your bank account and your social security number. Then I'll give you $11 trillion. It's like, well, no, I'm out. And now you just wasted time sending multiple emails to a smart person trying to convince them this is real. Yeah, you just got to get the dumb ones. That's interesting.
And when it comes to dumb ones, and this is the part that I don't understand how anyone can be this stupid, and I don't mean to victim blame or shame anyone, but literally the scam where it's, oh, your grandson is in prison and we need you to send us Amazon gift cards, or you're delinquent on your taxes and we need Apple gift cards. Like, I mean, that is the dumbest of the dumb. When you are given a legitimate problem, jail, taxes, anything like that, and then it's, we need gift cards sent to this email. Like, wow, you have to be dumb to fall for that one.
Your boy got picked up for drinking and driving. We only accept gift cards to Chuck E. Cheese in this here county as payments.
Is he healthy enough to make it 3 more years? Hopefully not. Props to the guys that robbed the same loot months ago. That was They went in. They wanted one painting, one statue.
Oh, the Louvre, in
the
France.
Louvre,
I forgot about that. Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like, every now and then you do find those criminal geniuses that are still doing this stuff and getting away with it.
The ones that got Kim Kardashian all her jewelry years ago.
For the most part, man, it's just crazy, methed up dudes who get caught almost immediately.
You said Chuck E. Cheese. I haven't told this joke in forever. Back when my kids were younger, did you know that Chuck E. Cheese has both security and a backroom lockup?
Really?
Yeah, they don't play. So if you go there to meet your wife and kid, say, "Oh, I'm meeting my wife and kid." Don't say, "Oh, just browsing." They don't have a sense of humor about that. But
Yeah.
All right.
No, is it mostly for fights? Because, dude, I went to a Chuck E. Cheese out here when our first one was like pretty young, and Chuck E. Cheese out here is trash, man.
Yeah, they're all trash now. They're all trash, man. And so it's because my buddy had a joke years ago. He goes, my nephew wanted to go to the park or Chuck E. Cheese, and I'm like, well, the park has trees, but Chuck E. Cheese has beer. Come on, kid, we're going to Chuck E. Cheese. Right. So Chuck E. Cheese serves beer, and then you have kids, and you have angry adults that don't want to be there and are drinking. So it's kind of like, not only does Chuck E. Cheese have a backroom lockup, but it reminds you like Philadelphia football stadium was the first football stadium to put a judge in the stadium and a lockup because they got tired of arresting people and taking them downtown. They literally arrest them and take them down into the basement of Lincoln Field, and the judge just like, all right, drunken disorderly, all right.
Eagles fans are trash, man. The Philadelphia Eagles is the goddamn Chuck E. Cheese, the modern day Chuck E. Cheese of football teams. I hate that they're this good.
They used to be everywhere, but now they're a dying breed. It's still I have one of my favorite
I'm telling you, the one I went to was what's up?
One of my favorite shirts. I have a shirt that says there's a little mouse right here, and it says Mechanical Rat Pizzeria and Arcade, and I just love it because it doesn't say Chuck E. Cheese, but it just says my favorite Mechanical Rat Pizzeria.
Dude, we didn't have a Mechanical Rat. I went in there. It's just a bunch of arcade games, and then you don't have there's not like, I mean, there's some booths, but it used to be like tables, and there'd be waitresses, and they would have the mechanical band. You know what they had? They had a big screen with a projector where they were playing like YouTube videos of the band. Yeah. They just had a fucking screen where they're playing the band. And I'm like, dude, this is the trashiest shit ever.
I mean, I get it. That lowers maintenance cost by 1,000%, but it's just not fun. But
dude, it was garbage.
You haven't lived until you see your uncle and his friends getting drunk at a Chuck E. Cheese after hours while gambling. That's fantastic.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, now with the sports apps, you can gamble anywhere. It's great.
Ann Coulter rips into Fox News for Iran war coverage, compares it to false rigged 2020 election reporting. Fox News is now the fake news. Former Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene chimes in. I love how she says, now Fox News is the fake news. You're just catching up. It's been propaganda forever. But I do like that conservatives are breaking ranks. I hate Ann Coulter.
Dude, I just got a notification that says your restriction ended now, but you're shitting on the Republicans again.
Oh,
I'm seeing restriction.
No, I'm praising Ann Coulter and Marjorie Taylor Greene and
yeah, but you're praising them for shitting on the Republicans, for shitting on.
Well,
Fox.
I'm not going to say that. I'll couch it by saying, but as much as I dislike Tucker Carlson, I loved his interview with Ted Cruz, and I just saw an interview. Someone was interviewing Tucker, and he was shitting on him some more, saying he didn't know, he wanted to bomb the place. He didn't know how many people live there. He doesn't know anything about the religion. It's like, I love that people are breaking ranks. Now, they're still going to vote for whoever the Republicans throw up in the midterms and the next election. But as long as you can sway that small group of so-called independents that are just a bunch of morons that don't pay attention to anything and that just go off there if they're feeling like, I just don't like Kamala, and then vote for Trump, as long as they can keep pushing the narrative like, oh, hey, remember no new wars, remember no debt. We didn't even talk about, what about that? Him coming out and saying, hey, we can't pay for babysitters. We need to bump up the
right.
By, what was it, 100, like trillions of dollars of debt.
I thought the tariffs were going to pay for childcare. Whatever happened to that?
Well, the tariffs should be, why aren't the tariffs paying for this new military budget? That's what I want to know. This new budget is insane.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. And I think they're going to get killed in the midterms because of this. I think it's two things that's really turning a lot of the Republican base against him: the Epstein stuff and the Iran war. Man, I mean, this guy in 2016, he really ran against the Republican Party on that issue, on the Forever Wars thing. That was his main thing against Jeb Bush. That was because Jeb Bush was supposed to be the guy, but Trump took him down on the Iraq stuff, and he really, this entire time up until very recently has been talking, even, in 2024, he ran on, they're going to get
Kamala
you into
will
a
start
forever
a
war. Kamala's going to bomb Iran and stuff like that. Yeah.
I want to go sideways quickly. I don't know what you're seeing on your TikTok, but I've got a nice person over here, Darwin, who said that we should make sure our settings are for 18 plus. That alone gets rid of a lot of the restrictions. So thank you, Darwin.
Thank you, Darwin.
We will look into setting our restrictions. But we got an AI
see
summation.
So far because we're standing on the shoulders of Darwin on TikTok.
Yes, thank you, Darwin. Okay, but back to what you said. Todd pointed out what I was going to say. We've gone so far right that Anne looks like a lefty. What a world, oy vey. But yes, it's. So now you talk about Iran. I didn't send you articles on this either. Hegseth fired several generals and the rumor is, like, nobody has words, but that these generals are refusing to put boots on the ground in Iran. And that's what Hegseth wants. And we will see. I think now with this plane that got shot down, and have they found the other pilot, or have they confirmed that the other pilot's dead?
I don't think
got
so.
out. The weapons coordinator didn't. This is where it starts to get interesting, because once you start losing planes and especially lives, I think the instant boots hit the ground, you will only have his hardcore morons supporting him. He still has a pretty big base of morons. I think his base of I still support dear leader because I'm stupid shrinks even more, because
he's not doing a good job of selling this war to the public.
Ken points out he lost Joe Rogan in the brosphere. He just needs to lose the billionaires. He did lose Musk for a little while, but then Musk came back around.
Well, the billionaires are always going to love him because he gives them tax cuts.
Yeah, and they're the ones making money off this. I mean,
you're right.
The oil commodities traders are loving this.
Well,
because they don't give a shit about what we pay for gas or what it does to anyone.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people say, like, oh, he's doing this to distract from the Epstein file. I don't think so, because I think this also hurts him with the base, just like the Epstein file. I think he's doing this to enrich himself. I think whoever, someone's giving him money. I don't know if it's one of the oil companies that's going to get the rights to this shit. I don't know if it's the weapons manufacturers. Basically, whoever was making Bush and Cheney rich, last time around, I think maybe not necessarily the exact same companies, but people in those industries are paying him. I think he's using this second term to just enrich himself, and then he's gonna jump out at the end of this 4 years on a golden parachute and go to some place where we're not going to extradite him. He's going to go to Monaco.
Ken says 2 planes down. Now, was this? I'm behind on today. Is this 2 planes shot down? I know one was a radar plane that was on the ground that got hit, but
I believe they were both shot down, right?
Okay, because I know Kuwait shot down one of our planes.
That was a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it was a few weeks ago. But this, okay. Here's what I know. First plane shot down, pilot got out, but the not co-pilot, like weapons coordinator, not found. So the second plane, pilot not found. Also, I don't.
Yeah, I believe the second one they're still looking for the pilot. Okay,
so this. It's getting frightening and interesting. Because
the Saudis or the Qataris, man. Maybe look at one of the other countries in the Gulf who gave him like a $400 million plane. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe that has something to do with it.
We just got more hearts on TikTok. Thank you. Yeah, it's fascinating. It's frightening. And what's really interesting is we're just sitting on a comedy podcast talking about, yeah, we're bombing another country and people are dying and we're hitting schools and they're closing and oil prices. It's just what's going on in the world. We're just talking about it because what are you gonna do?
But I mean, I think they're using a lot of the same language they did with Iraq. But what they're not realizing is this is a very different time than it was in 2003. In 2003, the country as a whole was still pretty freaked out about 9/11. And they more or less were saying this guy has weapons of mass destruction. And there's sort of like an interwoven network of terrorists that want to do another 9/11. So we got to go get them. And people were so freaked out. They were like, yeah, whatever, go get them. Now in 2026, the whole country kind of saw what they did with that bullshit. The government, our government, I mean, and is like, hey, man, you're going to get us into another forever war for money. We don't want that. It's sort of like why it took so long for the United States and many countries to get into World War II, because a generation before, they just had World War I. And so most of the politicians in the world were like, hey, this is going to be very politically unpopular to my voters, my constituents, whoever, if I go and get us into another war because of something that's happening over in Europe, in another part of Europe, like whatever, because, you know, that a generation ago, we had one where we all just kind of dove in because of alliances and treaties. And we didn't feel that Archduke Ferdinand really affected our country, but we still had a ton of casualties and a whole generation of dudes that if they came back really fucked up. And we don't want to do that again. So it's a similar spot we're in now. It wasn't as devastating to our country, to our population, as World War I was. We didn't see those kind of casualties, but we did see a long war. We saw an expensive war, and it definitely fucked over there up. And you know, people are looking at the state of Iraq and Afghanistan after we left. They're going, hey, man, it's not like we really helped there. We didn't help here. We just made some billionaires a bunch of money who own the weapons companies and the oil companies, and we don't really want to do that again. And now he's doing that. So unless he finds a better way to sell it to us, or, and I hate to say this, if some crazy tragedy happens here that he can tie it to, Pearl Harbor, a 9/11, like I think that's the only way to really get the population behind a war like this. Is
one, it's a little late for that, because if it happens now, it's like. Because the thing I read
now, it'll be like this happened because you were bombing.
It's retaliation. It's like absolutely. I read the other day that the number one goal of the war at this point is to reopen the Strait of Hormuz,
which wouldn't be closed if he hadn't
already open. Yeah. But we started bombing them because we're saying it's to deter their nuclear weapons capabilities, except they didn't have those under the accord that he tore up in 2019. It's like we are literally living in the stupidest timeline. All right, we're running out of time. Let's hit some dumb questions, some quick ones. I like this. I sent you the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Charlie Day is interview. Gets asked his second favorite Luigi behind the Luigi he voices, and of course he says Luigi Mangione. Did you watch the clip?
I didn't see the clip. I only read it. It
was a clip because he's getting interviewed.
I didn't notice.
And everyone's laughing. They're like, "Who's your favorite?"
Right.
You know, we know you're Luigi in the movie. Who's your second favorite? He's like, Luigi Mangione. Like, that's the answer we wanted.
I think he would technically be everyone's second because I can only name two Luigis.
Exactly. That's the whole point. The interviewer even says, "That's the answer we wanted. Thank you." And it's just because Charlie Day is on Sunny in Philadelphia. He's obviously one for dark humor. He's a funny guy, and he's not going to pull a press, you know, like a sort of say like, well, you know, that's a good question. I can't think, you know, like he's going to be funny about it. And so
anybody who's pissed about that has to name me a third Luigi because I don't know one.
I just want to know what the follow-up is when the parent company is like, don't do that again. You know, like that's what I thought was funny. All right, Jaden Ivey told the Chicago Bulls, quote, Jesus healed my knee before he was shut down for the season. I mean, is this where we're at? Is like Jesus is healing your knee? The statement cut through everything.
I think he's that guy that's posting all kinds of crazy.
He is
right, like weird homophobic stuff with Bible quotes and this and that. He's one of those guys, right?
He is. But here's my favorite part of the story. God healed my knee, and I said I was ready to play, and I was willing, and they're losing anyways instead of anyway. Anyways, they're not making the playoff, not playoffs. They're not making the playoff, so what does it matter? This is when you rest. When the season is over and you're not going into the postseason and you need to heal for next season, that's when you say, all right, the season's over. I will rest and heal so that I'm better. And this dumb fuck is saying, season's over. You might as well let me play anyway. No, that's when you pull, like it's the fourth quarter pull of the star quarterback. It's like, this is how stupid this guy is. He wants to go in when there's nothing left to play for. I got nothing. This is how dumb he is.
I have healed your knee, but unfortunately, I am a Pistons fan, so you will not make it to the playoffs.
Exactly. And one more. Takeaways from the Supreme Court decision on Colorado law banning conversion therapy for trans and gay minors. They're going to argue it's free speech. They're kicking it back to the courts, but they're saying, and it was 8-1. The liberals went with them, except for, was it Ketanji Brown? I can't see who broke, but either way. Yeah, so The Onion had a great headline yesterday. It was Colorado awash in flamboyant children after director notices a machine accidentally sent to reverse. A conversion there, and it was sent to reverse, so it was making kids gay. That's right. Good.
Okay, if that's freedom of speech, then let's see how these Christian conservatives love it if we open up a straight conversion therapy center where we take.
They say
kids.
Gays already do that. That's their whole point. They say gays are converted kids. They forget that it's religious people that go knocking on doors.
Show me the conversion therapy center. Show me the straight conversion therapy center. I know there's not one because there would be pictures and videos of this thing all over Fox News every day.
They would have something to talk about.
It's kind of funny, man, with this forcing kids into conversion therapy. Having kids now makes me kind of view the thing not differently, but I'm looking at different angles. Like, before I had kids, I would, of course, view this as most rational people view it. And they're like, wow, this is fucked up. It's homophobic. It's terrible what they're doing to these kids by forcing them into this camp and making them, try to like change who they are and stuff like that. Now, as a father, I still think that, but I'm also going, wow, it's fucked up what these Jesus freaks are doing to these homophobic parents by charging them all this money to give them back a kid that's still very much gay at the end of it. Where's the class action lawsuit? Where's the parents getting together going, I paid this motherfucker $8,000 talking about, I'm going to heal the gay out of your child. And then he comes back from the camp with monkeypox? What the fuck is this, Rev? What is this? You're going to cure him by what? Are you going to surround him by a bunch of straight kids? Maybe a total immersion thing? Oh, no, you're taking all the gay kids in Alabama and having them bump together in the woods. Reverend? You've created the Rambles in Central Park, but with less cops? That's what you're doing. Maybe it's a really heterosexual bro-y guy who's teaching them, huh? No, it's a confirmed bachelor with an effeminate Southern accent. That's their Mr. Miyagi for straight. Get the fuck out of here. Give me my money back.
Two thoughts. One, you reminded me of the Family Guy conversion therapy when Peter is gay. Like,
I didn't see that one.
Oh, it's called Peter Gay. It's one of their best episodes. I'm pretty sure it's called Peter Gay, but it goes off camera. It's like
got a shout out from Mel on TikTok on my
nice.
TikTok.
They say Mel. This is a gay guy. Go get him and do what you do. And they're like, no, you use your fists on him. No, not like that. Like they just keep like, what's up, fellas?
I read a statistic. Okay, sorry.
I thought you were going to say, as a parent, you were like, if I can send my kid to camp for a couple weeks and not have to deal with that, I might look into sending my kid, even though my kid's already straight. I'll just say, no, do you take my kid for a couple weeks just to get rid of him? But I didn't think of the money angle, so that was even funnier. The idea that
I mean, they got to be pissed, right? Because I think I read a statistic somewhere a while back that I'm going to get this number wrong, but I think it's a total of like over 300,000 people were forced into conversion therapy when they were young. And out of those 300,000 plus, roughly 300,000 plus of them are still very much gay. So like, I want to know how they keep selling this camp still. You know what I mean? I want to know how, Mel on TikTok says, my brother lost his V card at church camp. We weren't doing Bible things. Yeah, that's right. I think, in fact, shout out to the gay kids in Alabama who are requesting to go to conversion therapy to meet other gay kids because there's no gay kids. It's like, I'm going to go down there and I'm going to get laid. Dad, I need more Jesus. I think I'm having urges again. Send me back. Those kids deserve a special float during Pride Month. Those are the gay special forces. You know what I mean? Those are gay special forces. The kids going in behind enemy lines into conversion therapy looking for dick. Those are the gay special forces.
All right. It's actually called Family Gay, Season 7, Episode 8. I highly recommend it.
I'm just saying they got good marketers. You know what I mean? Like, all of those kids are still coming back as very much gay, yet they're still getting a bunch of dumbass Jesus freaks to send them their kids and give them a bunch of money. Here's the thing. I'm not saying I'm the greatest stand-up comic that's ever lived, but I'm way better at making people laugh on stage than these guys are at turning gay kids straight. So what if there's any conversion therapy marketers out there? I want you to be my manager. I will be headlining Madison Square Garden every fucking night with that kind of marketing.
I saw the best thing I have ever seen on the internet yesterday. It was the only person who needs to be negotiating with Iran right now is Kirk Cousins' agent. And I'm like, holy shit, stop the internet. That's because he just signed $20 million 1 year with the Raiders, and he is the most mediocre fucking quarterback of all time. How his agent keeps getting him multi-million-dollar contracts when he is fucking mid is beyond me. All right, we're over
work
time.
At conversion therapy. That's how.
I have been Nathan Timmel. You can find me at nathantimmel.com. I, yesterday, went and updated so many things on my store. T-shirts, hats, socks, bags, sweatpants, whatever you want, stickers. My store has a ton of new designs. nathantimmel.com. Go check it out. Jake has been and remains Jake Vevra. You can find him on all the socials at Jake Vevra. His special, Unalive by Dog Pills, is out on YouTube right now. Lindsey Graham went to conversion therapy and it's stuck. He's now going to Disney to prey on kids. Happy Easter back at you, Todd. Nice. Happy Easter, Jake. That's why we're doing this today, is because Jake's going to family. Nice seeing you again. Have a great weekend. And thanks for joining in, April. All right, TikTok and Darwin, we're going to look into setting to 18 plus. Goodbye, everyone.
I'm going to conversion therapy camp. They told me they would make me even more straight and regrow my hair.